Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local care center begins prescribing a pill to treat COVID-19. And the governor announces some investments into health care here in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 6 o'clock on Thursday, January 13th. Let's go back over and check in with Brandon, who's been a busy man this morning.
Yes, ma'am. It has been a busy morning, but a good morning. Glad to be back here with you and
Me too.
hanging out in person in studio after a negative COVID test, which is good. But we've got a lot to talk about this morning, so we're going to get right into it right now. Let's take a look at our current conditions, and you'll see at Norton this morning, fairly quiet, not too much going on. Traffic moving really well over there. No problems on the road so far this morning. Dry out there and a little on the chilly side in spots. Back up to 30 in Middlesboro, but still 27 in Jonesville, 39 in Somerset and Jackson, 36 in Pikeville, 38 now in Prestonsburg. They've dropped out of the 40-degree club. Hazard still at 43, and that's actually the warm spot in the region right now, and 37 over into Logan, West Virginia. Still some wind coming out of the south, so that's going to keep us warmed up there just a little bit there. Temperatures actually will go up a little bit as we head deeper into the daytime hours. 50 is our forecast high. We average 44 for this time of the year, and the record 72 set back on this day in 2005. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, West Virginia Governor Gov Justice is isolating and resting. His chief of staff gave us an update on the governor's health yesterday, a day after he tested positive for COVID-19. The governor is fully vaccinated and boosted. His staff says he is experiencing moderate symptoms and received a monoclonal antibody treatment.
He's not well today. I mean, he's home. He has round-the-clock care from physicians. And, Dr. Marsh is working with his daughter Jill is working on him, but he's not well today. We pray for a speedy recovery, but you know it's serious.
Governor Justice's wife Kathy tested negative. Primary care in Perry County is one of a few places with the Pfizer COVID treatment pill available. Doctors began prescribing it to their patients this past Monday and will be following up with them every day for 10 days. Patients with high risk for COVID complications will be eligible to receive the COVID pill.
We have been screening our patients who have tested positive for COVID-19 for chronic health conditions or anything that would make them high risk for developing complications or that could lead to hospitalization with COVID.
The goal is for the antiviral treatment pill to be widely available to everyone and not just high-risk patients in the future. The Laurel County Health Department gave away a limited supply of free at-home COVID tests yesterday. Laurel County averaged more than 160 cases per day for the last few days. The test kits being given out are the Illume Home self-test kits. The kits require a smartphone to use, but researchers say they are 96% effective. Health Department employees are hoping this can help stop the spread in their county.
We felt like this would be a good thing to utilize and pass out for those that needed to be tested and for those who cannot get into other facilities to test. So it's a good way to help mitigate the spread of the virus at this moment.
Executive Director Mark Hensley says this is an event they have been working on for some time, and while supplies will be limited, they're hoping to do it again soon in the future. Much of the increase we are seeing in the Commonwealth is tied to the Omicron variant. It has health experts thinking of updating some measures to stop the spread. That's as simple as what type of mask you wear. Grayson Passmore talked with physicians and breaks it all down on what the changes are going to be.
So it has the difference with how much they can filter, the way they're made, and the way they fit.
So let's have Dr. Jeff Fox really break that down for us.
Like this right here is an N95 mask, and it's molded, it fits tighter, it goes on your face tighter, and it works better. This one right here is a KN95 mask. It's usually folded in the middle. It has earpieces rather than going over your head. This one right here is a surgical mask. Again, doesn't fit as tight, has layers, goes over your ears. And then this one right here is a cloth mask. So you start with N95 best protection down to cloth mask.
The CDC recently announced they may update their mask recommendations as the highly contagious Omicron variant continues to spread. The CDC already said they are urging everyone to return to masking indoors, but now they may start recommending the N95 or KN95 mask. Dr. Fox again emphasizing the importance of wearing masks around others.
And if you're in a crowd, going shopping, going into a store, going to be around people, if you wear a mask, you may be protecting people when you have the virus that you don't even know.
If the recommendations from healthcare professionals weren't enough, UK basketball coach John Calipari made a video of his own. He's highly encouraging fans to wear the N or KN95 mask to games for the next couple of weeks.
I've got to keep these kids safe. They've got to mitigate. Wear that mask.
Dr. Fox does want to say any face covering is better than no face covering. In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Medical professionals do want to emphasize that any of those face coverings are better than no face covering at all. And Governor Andy Beshear reported yesterday marked one of the highest COVID-19 numbers since the pandemic began. The state reported 11,232 new cases, bringing our case total to just a little under 953,000. There were 21 new deaths as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll at 12,455. The positivity rate is now at a record 27.39%. You can always find the latest COVID-19 information on our website at WYMT.com. And as cases of COVID-19 overwhelm hospitals again, Governor Andy Beshear is putting a focus on Kentucky's nursing shortage, a crisis he declared a state of emergency last month. Yesterday, the Team Kentucky Nursing Advisory Committee held their first meeting to address issues and come up with recommendations for the governor. Chad Hedrick reports on what this committee had to say.
The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted a critical need for nurses, as many have either left the profession or decided to not get into it at all.
Students are choosing to go into other careers where they can work from home, more tech jobs.
During the first meeting of the Team Kentucky Nursing Advisory Committee, a group of healthcare leaders easily came up with a list of challenges the profession is facing as they work to create goals and objectives to suggest to Governor Beshear.
I talk to students coming in every day, and they're scared to death that they're going into the demilitarized zone and into combat.
A day before his budget address to lawmakers, the governor released his health care budget plan, which includes $6 million a year for scholarships, doubling awards from $1,500 to $3,000 a semester.
So let's take positive action to say in one clear voice that we love our Kentucky nurses. We want to support them, and we want more people to join their ranks.
It also comes down to workload, especially during unprecedented COVID surges.
You know, how do we help nurses cope with the second and the third and the fourth wave so that they can have good mental health and then they can promote nursing, you know, to others.
The pandemic didn't cause the nursing shortage. We had a nursing shortage before. But what it did is it pulled the covers off and exacerbated the nursing shortage.
A shortage that these leaders say will only get worse if pay, mental health, and retainment aren't addressed.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. The committee has a deadline of March 10th to send recommendations to Governor Beshear. Matt Brown, the Senior Vice President of Administration at Addiction Recovery Care, released the following statement regarding Governor Beshear's proposed investment in the state nursing workforce, stating, quote, "Addiction recovery care is encouraged by the governor's proposed investments in Kentucky's nursing workforce. Nurses are essential in treating our family members, friends, colleagues, and neighbors who are struggling with substance use across the Commonwealth. With overdose deaths continuing to skyrocket amid the pandemic, nurses will continue to serve an integral role in our healthcare system and our communities." Governor Beshear also held a news conference to announce healthcare investments in the Commonwealth yesterday. One of the numerous topics he covered related to mental health. Governor announced 2 financial strategies to help in this department. The first being to fund the implementation of the 988 crisis support line. This is planned to go into effect July of this year. The 3-digit number will replace the National Suicide Hotline, making it easier for people to get the help they need.
Think about that. These are calls by folks that may be suicidal themselves or family members that are desperately and immediately needing help for someone that they are worried would take their own life or need help. 56% more calls will undoubtedly save more lives.
The budget also includes investments to phase in 100 additional new staff to Kentucky's community mental health centers. That will help provide support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The national blood shortage continues throughout the nation, and folks in the Big Sandy area will have a chance to help out today. The American Red Cross is hosting a blood drive at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg. People can donate at any time between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
6:11 are coming up on it on this Thursday morning. Temperatures out there fairly mild for this time of the year, close to average highs in some locations. 42 Monticello, 41 in Somerset, it's 43 in Hazard. That's the hot spot in the region. 41 in Richmond, but 29 in Harlan and 27 in Jonesville. Lots of 20s, 30s, and 40s out there. 50 this afternoon. Chances for scattered showers thanks to a weak disturbance slate and mainly cloudy skies throughout the day. We look ahead at our headlines and our confidence is growing on that weekend winter storm. Low track means everything, and what that means, that Canadian low that is working its way down from Canada, the way it tracks will mean the difference, and I'll talk more about that coming up in the full forecast in just a little bit. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the White House makes a plan hoping to keep schools open as the fight against COVID-19 continues.